So I finally got all the pieces in the mail, well almost all the pieces in the mail, to put the turbo on. I can get it all in, I just can't run the exhaust yet. I need to get some like weld-in O2 bungs so I can use the O2 sensor, because I think the ones on the exhaust for this, the ones on the stock exhaust are in the front, the ones for the exhaust that came with this turbo kit, they're like somewhere down there in the middle. So yeah, because EF Life, it's in the front. So it's my $300 turbo kit. It's not bad. I mean, it has fucking absolutely zero shaft play. As long as it doesn't smoke too much, I'll be okay with it. And it's red, so it's plus 30 horsepower. So when I bought the car, the guy said the AC used to work, and then something happened. I found all these wires that got melted. So I separated them, I replaced the fuse, and I was trying to get the AC to work because that turbo kit is like AC friendly exhaust, because it like comes out and bends like in a weird way. So you can actually run an AC compressor. But unfortunately it's not working at all, so yeah. It's whatever. I'm gonna rip it out. I'm actually taking it out. See these? Versus just fucking cutting it like most kids. I'm actually gonna undo it and then I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it or some shit. But now it's a little later in the day. You know, I give up. Went inside a little while. But yeah, this is the easiest way to get these stock headers off. You just take a Sawzall, cut it, because these bolts suck to get off. These three, and it's like you can get headers for what, like $50? You can get some shitty eBay headers for like $50 that are a lot better than the stock ones. But yeah, now I got to get this AC bracket off, and then I'll take the oil filter off, and then we'll run the oil feed. That should be fun. So I just got a cheap eBay kit. It was like, I don't know, it was like $35 or some shit like that. But it's got a bunch of random pieces, and it's got the steel braided hose and all this cancer that we can use. So we can actually, this time we can actually plug back in the oil pressure. Because usually I'll just take it off and I'll just put the line and then just, I don't know, just look at the check engine light, because it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna try to figure this out. It doesn't have enough fucking plugs on it. I don't think that this is gonna work. What the fuck? Alright, so this is fucking useless. Unless I can find, no wait, I'm a fucking idiot. So this goes in and there's the oil line comes out, and then the oil pressure goes over here. Never mind, I'm a fucking idiot. So I just got the oil pressure sensor out. It's pretty cool. The RT wagons actually have a half shaft, so that's cool. And then I actually filmed a clip on how the RT system works, how the real time works. But that's where I took the sensor out from. Now I just have to get everything back in, which is a lot harder than taking it out. But yeah, so here's a little clip I filmed a couple weeks ago of how the RT system works. Okay, so this is how the RT four-wheel drive system works. Once it realizes it's been slipping, and there's some clutches in here, I think he was talking about this, then it starts to activate the rear-wheel drive, which is a little diff right there. And it's the same thing. It's not like a limited slip or anything. It's just like an open diff. So I might look into lockers or just welding it. That's probably, to be honest, that's probably what's going to happen. It's just going to get welded. So it took me a long time with that fucking T-piece to get it to actually go in. It was just really frustrating. Really frustrating. I'm just trying to get everything set up right now. I think I'm going to have to like cut this and flatten it out, because I want to keep the full-size radiator, because most EFs you got to put a half size. I don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to notch this out and flatten it down and like put a piece of steel and weld it. I'm gonna take this little frame off right now, and we'll get it all notched out and shit, so that we can finish running the turbo. So I didn't take it all the way out because I don't know, I'm lazy, and those other two bolts on either side, the axle's kind of in the way and all that shit. So I'm just gonna do it like this, shove a piece of wood on either side. And I got my welding gloves just in case anything goes wrong, but it should be alright. I'm just gonna cut it like this, and then I guess this front side is gonna be a little more difficult. I'll record, and if anything happens I'll show you. If not, I'll just jump to where it when it's finished. So I didn't die. I got it pretty much all out, except for right there where I didn't cut it all the way through. So I got the little subframe back. I know they make different ones where it's like a, I don't know what you would call it, but it just has like one bar and then it goes out to the sides. It's I guess it's like a racing traction bar or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but cut this one all up. I didn't think I was gonna have to brace it, but I went to jack up the car and it started to bend it, so I had to beat it back out. And I got some steel from work. Like put one there, and then I'll put one right there just to add a little more support. This is like 067, something like that. It's not too thick, but it's just what we had lying around. And I just got this piece of paper. I'm trying to make a little template right now so I can get it and then mark it all off. I need some of that old block grease. So it's not too bad. Gives me enough room to weld it on either side. I just have to clean this up a little more, but there's my little template. So I don't have the GoPro. I'm at Home Depot, and yeah, Home Depot sells like turbo parts on these little like rubber boots. I think this will hold up to like 30 psi. Look at this one. It's damn near 1/8 inch fucking rubber. Yeah, and they're pretty cheap. You get all kinds of turbo parts. All kinds of elbows, whatever you need. And this should hold. I mean, I guess we'll find out, right? But fuck. I mean, for 20 bucks, get everything I need. Someone's looking at me. Look at that, you can get fucking elbows and all kinds of shit. Okay, so the exhaust right now is meant to go something like that, so it'll kick back and underneath the car. I'm gonna have to cut these welds and grind this this all flat just so I can use this flange. And then I'll probably cut it right about here, and we'll it'll be mounted something like that. So we'll cut that there, clean up this flange, weld it back to the flange, and it'll sit something like that. It's probably going to be a little short, so I'm going to cut it right here, and then I'll cut it right here next to this O2, so that way I can use this like 3 inches of pipe and keep this O2, so I can or the O2 bung, whatever you want to call it, so I can reuse that. And I'll just put it somewhere in here, so that way this part will be sticking out the hood when I get it finished. If you guys get what I'm saying, something like that. But yeah, I've got a lot of work I've got to do, and the GoPro's about to die, so I'm gonna go charge that. I'll get this all cleaned up and tacked together, and I might get a little tractor flap because I think that'll be cool. And the main reason why I'm just gonna run the exhaust out the hood versus I was thinking about just doing straight over, but I don't really want to worry about the clearance issues with the tires and all that shit. And I know this isn't gonna fit with the hood when I close it. Ow, it's fucking hot. I know this isn't gonna fit, so I'm gonna have to cut this out. So I'll have to cut a big chunk of the hood out, which is cool. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, this car is gonna be like off-road most of the time. So the exhaust is pretty much done. I've got to weld that and then cut the little hater pipe. This one should stick out the hood. I'm gonna guess the hood sits right there, so maybe a couple inches, nothing crazy. Welds aren't too good, but they should hold. I'm gonna get a header wrap and wrap them, and then pretty much be good. I gotta run the O2 and then a couple lines for the blow-off valve and the wastegate and all that fun stuff, but it's all pretty much basic, so I'm not gonna film any of that. It's pretty much done. I've just got to put the radiator and put all that shit back in. I've got to cut the hood to make it fit, and I'll probably just run 4 hood pins, so that way I don't have to cut too big of a hole, and the hood will just sit over it, and then I can just pull the 4 pins and take the hood off. But it's all basic shit. The next video is gonna be raising the car up and getting these massive tires to fit. All right, so the turbo's all hooked up, everything's done. Exhaust through the hood. I cut this up. I'm not sure if I'm gonna clean this up anymore, like where I cut it out, because I just used the grinder. And then I put some steel wool in the exhaust, but you can see it blew it out, so I'll have to fuck with that. Still gotta finish the hood and all that shit. But I figured I'd show you guys a little video. No tune, nothing like that. I don't really have any issues except for second gear when it's let me turn that on. When it's like at high RPMs. So that was a little, I know my speedometer's off because of bigger tires. That's like a little 0 to 60, nothing crazy. Occasionally the check engine light will come on if I do like a pull after I've been driving it. That's why I made this little video, because right now it came on because I've been driving it, and it like, I'm pretty sure it's like the fuel pressure. It's like running lean. I think that's why it's coming on. So I might have to put a bigger fuel pump, but that'll be in the future. Should be good for now. So yeah, peace, pimps.